Welcome. Thank you for joining today. Today's flow is going to be fluid flow. And I've named it fluid flow because obviously it's an almost continuous flow. I've designed it so there doesn't need to be any big breaks. And you know what? Child's pose and taking those moments, they're not breaks. They're you feeling connected to your body, coming down to the earth, coming back to your breath whenever you need to. I want you to stay embodied with this flow and hopefully find a rhythm where you don't really care about what you look like. You just want to keep moving. And that's important to this flow anyway, this continuous movement. Even within those still points, there's this connection to the breath and what it does to your body. So just take a full awareness to your body and how it moves, even in those moments of complete stillness. So yes, we're going to start at the back of the mat in a child's pose. So if you need to sort anything else out, do so. You won't need any equipment unless you do actively work with props, then go for it. So come to the back of the mat in a child's pose, have a wonderful flow. Sit your bum to your heels. You can have your knees wide or narrow. It's completely up to you. And you want to drop your belly down onto your thighs, in between them. Depends on how wide you've got your legs. Reach the hands out in front of you. Spread your fingers out wide and drop the forehead to the ground. Close the eyes and take a big breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out through your mouth. And again, watch your body as you breathe. Watch the natural movement that occurs in the back of the body. And anytime you need to exhale your mouth to breathe, open the mouth, let it go. And again, breathe in. And then alternatively, you can close the lips and make it more of an ujjayi breath. Like a natural roar at the back of the throat. And as you breathe, can you find this little feeling of stretch or opening between the ribs, down the back in the armpits, maybe across the glutes? And if there's anything you want to set for yourself today, then take this chance, take this opportunity now. If there's nothing that comes up, don't force it. It may start to emerge during your practice. And then from there, I want you to start to ripple yourself forward into all fours. So your hands stay connected to the ground. It's the upper body that lifts, the hips that rise above the knees. Claw the fingers into the ground and straight away you just move, right? There's no right, there's no wrong. You can adjust your feet and your legs, your hands, your shoulders, your spine, the neck and the hips. You can shift the weight forward and back, left to right. You can reach one hand forward and then the other. You can maybe even open up the arms to the side. So take in right now, what is fluidity in your body? What does it look like? What does it feel like mostly? And then I want you to come into a very neutral all fours. And you're going to cross your left forearm down onto the mat and you turn your left palm to face the right side of the room. You keep your hips above the knees. You press down through the left forearm and inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. So already, this is quite a deep twist to be in. Use the ground beneath the forearm to support yourself as you rise up with the right hand. We're going to take it to the other side. Exhale, take the right forearm down. Press down through the ground and then inhale, peel the left arm up towards the sky. Can you find those tiny bits of space between the ribs right now, maybe across the shoulder blades? Exhale, take the left forearm down. You're going to turn both of your hands to face the front of the room. Keep both of your forearms down for now. Claw the fingertips into the ground and start to wiggle as you did before. Rock it forward and back. Undulate your spine. Shift the weight left, right, side to side. And then eventually you're going to come up into your first downward facing dog of the day, perhaps. Claw the fingers into the ground, press down the mounds of your fingers, in particular the index finger and your thumb. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, shine the tailbone to the sky, and keep your knees bent as you begin to pedal out your heels one at a time. The knees can straighten over time. Really, personally, I like to keep my knees bent for most of the time in downward facing dog and encourage the tailbone to shine up towards the sky. Push the floor away through the hands. Get super active in the upper body. It all starts with what's connected to the ground right now. So the balls of the feet and the palms of the hands. And then inhale, ripple yourself forward into high plank. Squeeze the thighs and the glutes. Exhale, ripple straight back into downward facing dog. Now this, for me, this is fluid. This is you not finding any sort of break points in your back or in the whole of the body. It all moves together. And just take this ripple a few times. Let it out through the mouth if you need to. And then on about your third or fourth round, you're going to stay in downward facing dog. Drop the head through the arms. Give your head a little bit of a wiggle, maybe a nod, a shake. And you're looking towards the back of the mat, your feet now. And I want you to point your right toes and cross the right leg behind the left. Physically cross this right leg behind your left leg. Squeeze the inner thighs here. And you're going to draw a big circle with your right big toe. You draw this right leg all the way up towards the sky. Stay in this downward facing dog position with the rest of your body, but tap your right toes towards the edge of the mat over to the right. And then as you exhale, recircle your right leg all the way back and around, drawing big circles. You're going to do it twice more, but we're going to progress. So on the second round, you circle the right leg all the way up. As you get to the top, you shift forward more into a high plank. And I want you to try and tap your right toes over to the right, as far over to the right as you possibly can. Exhale, circle it back into downward facing dog. Cross your right leg behind the left. Third and final time, it's the same thing. You lift up with the right leg, you shift forward into high plank, then bend the right knee and tap the right knee towards the back of the right tricep. Push the ground away. Step the right foot through between your hands. And take a moment to kind of wiggle the hips out here. Now we're going to go for our first easy twist. Now your left hand can stay on the floor and you can reach the right arm up towards the sky. You may want to lower the back knee down. That's up to you. Or lower your left forearm, cross the left forearm down, left palm turns to face the right foot. With the back knee on or off the floor, right arm up towards the sky. Now this can be quite a deep place to be if you're going to go for the forearm down, so you do not have to. And just wiggle out the hips slightly here. So what kind of movement can you get in this position? Again, there's no right or wrong. You can feel this. And then bring your right hand down to the inside of the right foot. You're going to turn in to face the left side of the room. And as you turn in to face the left side of the room, you stay over the front leg, bend the right knee and flex the left foot. Bring your right hand either straight down to the floor, or you can always bring your right forearm a little bit further up the leg if you need to. Left arm is then going to circle over the head and you're going to work into the side of the body. Keep the left foot flexed. You're going to stay low to the ground. You're going to shift it towards the back of the mat. Take your left hand down, bend the left knee, flex the right foot, circle the right arm up and over. Twice more. Exhale, we take it to the front of the mat. Left arm circles over, stay low with the legs. Last one, you take it to the back of the mat, left hand down, flex the right foot, open up the side of the body. This time as you go back to the front of the room, you're going to plant your left hand down next to the right foot. Go into a regular easy twist. Right arm comes up towards the sky. If you want to, you can slide onto the outer edges of the feet. Tap the hips down as you work into the IT band. Big connective tissue that runs down the side of the leg. Inhale, push the hips up. Exhale, take the right hand down, step the right foot back into downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple forward into high plank. Squeeze your legs together now. Squeeze your glutes. Now you can lower your knees to the floor if you wish, but you're going to lower all the way down to your belly. All the way down. Point the toes, squeeze the legs together, and slide your hands down next to your thighs. Come up onto your fingertips, squeeze the shoulders back so they lift off the floor. Gaze forward without crunching the neck. Squeeze your bum. Shavasana, working into the back of the body. And as you hold it here, root down those fingertips really strongly. You're going to lift your feet off the ground. Can you squeeze the legs together still? On the last breath, you can lift the hands off the floor. So this is a great one for the back of the body. Shavasana, known as the queen of the back bends. Exhale, take the hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes, ripple it back into downward facing dog. As soon as you're there, cross your left leg behind your right. Point the left toes, check it out, look at the back of the mat. And then circle the left leg all the way up and around. Round one, remember you stay in downward facing dog, you tap the left toes just over to the edge of the mat to the left. And then exhale, circle the left leg all the way back up and around. Cross your left leg behind the right. Round two, you lift the left leg back up. As soon as you get to the top, you shift forward into high plank and tap the left toes way off the mat to the left. Then exhale, you bring it back into downward facing dog, cross your left leg behind the right. Third and final time, same thing. You lift your left leg up, you shift forward, high plank, bend the left knee and tap the left knee to the back of the left tricep. Then step the left foot down. Wiggle it out a little bit from side to side here. Now you make your decision. Are you going to go for a regular easy twist? Left arm up towards the sky? You're going to lower your back knee, or are you going to take your right forearm to the floor? Back knee on or off the ground and wiggle. Left arm is up. And you can feel into the body here. How do the hips feel today? How are the thighs doing? How's the lower back? And then you're going to bring your left hand down to the inside of your left leg. You're going to turn straight to face the right side of the room. So as you turn in to face the middle of the room, you stay bent over the front leg. Flex the right foot, and you can have your left hand down next to your left leg or bring your forearm up onto the thigh. Right arm is going to circle up over the head. It's important that the back foot is flexed here. Exhale, stay low to the ground. Shift it to the back of the mat. Other side, right hand down. Left arm up and over. One more each side. Stay low. Find that flow. Inhale, take it over. Exhale to the back of the mat. Use the inner thighs, so it's a strong move for the legs. This time, as you go back to the front of the mat, you're going to go for that easy twist one more time. Right hand down. Peel the left arm up to the sky. You can slide onto the outer edges of the feet. Tap the hips down. Keep the feet flexed. Inhale, press the hips up. Left hand down. Step the left foot back. Downward facing dog. Squeeze your legs. Ripple forward into high plank, squeeze the glutes. Remember, you can lower down onto your knees. We're going to go into a full Chaturanga now. Exhale, we go down, halfway-ish. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Big sigh out through the mouth. Let it go. And then once you're back in this downward facing dog, if you need to kind of readjust a little bit, feel into it. Lift your right leg up, point the toes, bend the knee and open up the hips. So it almost feels like you're getting pulled up by this right leg and you're trying to squeeze your left heel a little bit closer to the ground. Step the right foot through between your hands. Now watch here. You're in this low lunge. You're going to take your hands out quite wide. And maybe slightly down the mat, so maybe past your heel. Bend the back knee and hover it just off the floor, just off the ground. You're then going to start to shift your bum in the direction of your back heel with the back knee off the floor. Flex the right foot, the front foot. Now keep the chest looking straight towards that front toe. And then as you exhale, plant the right toes down, bend the right knee, and you're back in this low lunge, but try and keep the chest open. You're going to take those twice more. Bend the back knee, hover it just off the floor, push the bum towards the left heel, flex the right foot. Exhale, we go forward. It's quite a subtle move. It's quite a deep move. It doesn't often feel like you're going too far, but you can feel that there may be a shake going on in the back leg in particular. Last one. You hold this here. You keep your left hand as it is and reach the right arm towards the back of the room, specifically towards maybe the top back corner. Keep the back knee just off the ground. If there's a bit of a shake, go for it. Have a little pulse even. One more breath where you are. Exhale, lower the right toes down, bend the front knee, and now scoop the arms up over the head. You're gonna hook your thumbs and reach the arms up. And then with the thumbs hooked, I want you to feel like you're pulling the thumbs off the hands even, and super strong out through the back heel. As you exhale, bend the left knee and try and tap it towards the floor. Inhale, pull the back knee up. Now I often try and think about my ribs here as well. So I don't want them to completely flare forward. I want to like sort of contain them in slightly. Exhale, tap the back knee down. Inhale, lift the left leg back up, pull the thumbs. On this last one, you're going to lower your left knee down completely. Release your thumbs and interlace the fingers behind you. Squeeze the shoulders back and slide your fist down the left thigh. Lift the chest, press down your front big toe. So you've got a bit of a back bend going on here. As you exhale, you're going to keep the hands interlaced and bring your right shoulder to the inside of the right thigh. So I kind of call this like a half humble warrior because the back knee is on the floor. Keep the hands interlaced. They go up over the head. And you're going to repeat this. Imagine someone's pulling you back by the fist. And you lift your chest, you squeeze your bum, you press down your front big toe, fist down the back of the left thigh. Exhale, slowly take it forward once again. Now this time, as you find your half humble warrior, you are then going to find your regular humble warrior. So tuck the back toes, lift the knee, keep the right shoulder connected to the inside of the right leg as you lower the left heel down and you turn the toes. So your legs are pretty much in a warrior two, and your arms, your upper body, full humble warrior right here. Your bum is pressing back, the arms are pulling over the head. Take a couple more breaths where you are. You're in a nice deep place. Keeping the hands together for as long as you can. Imagine you're being pulled up by the fists. You lift the chest, you lift the spine, you lift your head. Everything else follows. The legs stay the same. Really strong in the thighs and in the feet, and then you open up the arms eventually into warrior two. You let the blood flow back into them. And then once you're in your happy warrior two, you flip the right palm up, inhale, reverse back straight away. Exhale, take the right forearm to your right thigh. Left arm is going to come up over the head. Now it's a real soft tap down with this right forearm. You're not sinking into the leg. And we repeat, inhale, take it back. Option to hook the left arm around the back of you and take a half bind. Exhale, right forearm to the thigh. You can bring your right hand all the way down to the ground. It's completely up to you. Last time, inhale, pull it back, take that bind. Left arm hooks around the back of you. And then once you're in this reverse warrior, straighten your front leg. If you need to adjust your feet slightly, I would pull the back foot in. Now you're going to flex the right foot. This is an option, so you can lower the toes down if you want to eventually. You're going to keep your left arm around the back of you. My left hand is going to creeping around to my right hip. The back of the left hand is going to sort of push the hips towards the back of the room. And as I do that, I'm going to pull the right hand forward towards the top of the mat. Flex the right foot, so we're going into Trikonasana. Big triangle pose, but we're going to take the time. Hug the thigh muscles to the bones. Find length in your spine and down the waist. And then eventually, if you want to lower the toes down, you can do. Or go peace fingers towards the right big toe. Or maybe hand to the shin. Then once you've found this good place here, jam down that right heel, squeeze the left shoulder back. And then peel the left arm up towards the sky. So I want you to care about finding more height here than going lower. So trying to touch the ceiling, I want to be your main focus rather than touching the floor. One more breath where you are. Exhale, lower the right toes down if you've not done so. Everyone bend the right knee. Scoop it back into reverse warrior. Inhale, take it back. This time, exhale, you're going to bring your right hand to the outside of the right foot. If you prefer to take the forearm to the thigh, then you can go for that instead. Left arm is going to scoop over the head, full Shavasana, side angle stretch. There's a line from the left fingertips all the way down to the left toes. Now you're going to keep this left arm moving. It's going to pass down your face and circle again up and over. And the second time that it goes past your face, you are going to bring the left hand down over to the edge of the mat on the left side. So plant the fingers down, pivot up onto your back tiptoe, lower the left knee to the floor, and straight away you're going to circle the right arm forward and back. Monkey twist. Now you might just want to take your right hand towards the back of the room and take this twist here. You may want to pick up the left foot with your right hand and add in that thigh stretch. Anybody that wants to lower down to the left forearm, of course, this is an option here. Now this is really dependent on how tight the left thigh feels. So don't feel like you have to push anything here. You don't have to force anything into your practice. Keep the chest open. Shoulders broad, collarbones broad. And it's also quite nice to turn the right toes out slightly as well. So I want you to bear in mind, I've got your left hand out wide for a reason. Those of you that are holding the back foot, let go of it. You're going to circle this right hand, this right arm over to where the left hand is. Keep the back knee on the floor. And you're going to walk your hands as far over to that top diagonal corner as you can. And I want you to feel as though someone's kind of like pulling your hips back at the same time, but you've cemented your fingers into the ground. And there is lots of movement here in the hips. The hips are your mobile joint. So we want to encourage movement here where we can. Now you're going to come up into a higher version of this. I call this waterfall because really you'll see the spine becomes this nice long line. So keep the hands where they are. Lift the back knee off the floor. Plant the left heel to the ground like you were doing a warrior two. Keep the fingers into the ground and then pull the hips back. Drop the head through the arms. Spread the toes. Shift the weight back slightly into the heels. And if there is some more movement here, try and add that little bit of movement into the hips. Keep the blood going to it. One more breath in where you are. Exhale, walk your hands into the center of the mat. As you walk your hands into the center of the mat, you straighten your right leg and pivot the right toes in. Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Now your big toes are slightly turned in, pigeon toe style. Little bend in the knees. Now straight away, I want you to open your arms out like wings. Have a slight bend in the knees and tip the torso all the way up. Take your time with it. So there may be a bit of a shake in the legs. We will eventually go back into that prasarita a bit later. Now, first of all, I want you to turn your heels in and your toes are going to turn out. If you need to do this a couple of times, then that's fine. You're going to bring the arms up over the head and hook your thumbs. Bend your knees and sit down into goddess pose. Now there might be a little bit of a pulse here that you want to add in. But I want you to start to tip your torso from left to right. Maybe there's more of a circular motion to go round to each side. Stay low in the legs. Pull the thumbs apart. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend the knees and let it out through the mouth. And again, inhale, squeeze up. Exhale out through the mouth, bend the knees. Great release. And again, inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, we go low. Release the arms like wings once again. You're going to turn the heels back and the toes forward and gently come down, arms stay wide through prasarita once again. Push your bum back. Now I'm going to flip from the side so you can see this movement. So your toes are forward. You bend your knees very slightly so you can push your bum back. Long in the spine, arms out wide. You have to use the muscles in your back as much as you can. You're going to use your inner thighs, push down the big toe mounds, and then eventually you come all the way down. Once you are all the way down, you can have your hands on the floor, hands around your ankles or your shins, or maybe peace fingers around your big toes. Take a moment here. There can still be a little bend in the knees. I don't want you to lock the knees, shine the tailbone high. Think about lengthening your hamstrings, the back of the legs. And really, if you lock the knees and try and straighten them up completely, you're not lengthening them, you're shortening them if anything. So you want to have that nice tilt up of the tailbone. Strong connection through the feet, long in your spine. And if there is a little bit of movement here, add it in. And eventually I want you to walk your hands over to your right foot, the original front of the room. Turn the right toes forward. Step your back foot up and slightly over to the left. just a little bit. Now this is going to prep you for twisted triangle. So the hips are relatively square here, just so you can kind of feel when you sort of tip your hips from left to right, what do you feel down the back of the legs? Now you want to find that slightly more square shape and bring your left hand either to the inside or the outside of the right foot, whatever works for you. Then pull the crown of the head forward, pull the right hip back, and maybe reach the right hand up towards the sky. And again, if there's a little bend that needs to happen in the knees, then please do it. Give yourself that space, that opportunity to grow. Slowly exhale, bring your right hand down and have that moment where you surrender a little bit over the front of the leg. From here, we're going to finish off this section with a side plank going into wild thing. So bring your left hand to the ground, slide your back foot long down the mat, slide your right foot on top of the left. Stack your feet, stack your hips, squeeze your bum, lift the right arm up towards the sky. Push the ground away. Lift the right leg up, bend the right knee and step the right foot behind your left thigh, working it slowly into wild thing. Squeeze your bum, press the hips up towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm over the head, open the heart, open the belly. One more breath in. Exhale, take the right hand down, find high plank. Squeeze the legs together. We take it through a Vinyasa. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels. If you need to come down into child's pose, you can rest it here. If you prefer to stay up and breathe through this downward facing dog, then you take that option instead. Relax the head and the neck. Don't hold on to everything here. Relax your face, move it. Don't let it get stuck. So excellent job, everybody. We'll take it into the second side. When you're ready to come into downward facing dog, straight away, lift your left leg up. Point the left toes, bend the knee, open the hips. Exhale, step the left foot through between your hands. Take your hands out wide and slightly back. Bend the right knee and just hover it off the floor. Shift your bum towards the right heel and flex the left foot, chest forward and open. Exhale, left toes down, bend the knee into that low lunge again. And again, bend the right knee, shift your bum back, flex the left foot, spread the toes. Exhale, take it forward. On this last one, you go back and you hold it here. We're going to take the twisted Ardha Hanuman with a hovering back knee. Right hand stays on the ground. Left arm is going to reach back. Pull the navel in. Pull the left hip back. So this is going to get into your IT band big time here. Flex the left foot, spread the toes. Keep the left big toe looking straight up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take the left toes down, bend the front knee and scoop forward and up into high lunge. Hook the other thumb on top if you can remember. The more unnatural feeling. Bring the arms up over the head, pull the lower ribs in. Exhale, bend the right knee. Inhale, pulling the thumbs, lift your knee back up. Kick out through the right heel. And again, exhale, tap the right knee low. Inhale, pull it back up. Last one, lower the right knee down completely to the ground. Release the arms, bring your hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Slide the fist down the right thigh, lift the chest, press down your front big toe, open it up. Exhale, bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left thigh. Half humble warrior, arms come up over the head. And repeat. Pull back through the fist first, lift the rest of the body. Let it flow, lift the chest. Exhale, ripple forward, left shoulder to the inside of the left thigh. Half humble warrior that's eventually gonna lift up into a full one. So keep the hands in the upper body as they are, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, and plant the right heel to the ground. So it's a subtle adjustment, the upper body stays the same. Keep the left shoulder close up against the left thigh or the left knee and shin. And then eventually you're going to pick yourself up, pull back through the fist first, lift the chest, stay strong in the legs. And then eventually you can open the arms out, warrior two. Find that warrior two for yourself. I'm going to flip myself around. You stay exactly where you are. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. Wiggle the hips if you need to, adjust your feet. And then when you're happy, you're going to bring yourself into reverse warrior. Flip the left palm up, inhale, reverse back. Exhale, bring your left forearm to your left thigh, right arm comes up and over. Find as much space as you can down the sides of the body. Inhale, take it back, reverse. Exhale, bring your left forearm, or you can bring your left hand down to the ground. Right arm comes up over the head. And again, we take it back into reverse warrior. This time you add a little bind in. Right arm goes around the back of you. Once you're back in reverse warrior, straighten your left leg. Now remember, I'm using the back of my right hand to kind of push my hips in the opposite direction. Then you reach your left hand forward, flex the left foot if you want to. Jam down the left heel and eventually reach the left hand down to the toes, maybe onto your shin, you decide. So all these moves kind of go in stages. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Then you can pull the right shoulder back. Imagine you're breathing up against an imaginary wall behind you. And then reach the right arm up towards the sky. And you're trying to pull up towards the ceiling rather than sink down to the ground. Loads of strength in the legs. Look down at the left foot. Lower the left toes down, bend the knees, slowly bring yourself back up into reverse warrior. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, bring your left hand to the outside of the left foot. Right arm comes up over the head. And you're going to circle this right arm past your face. You're going to do it twice. Big circles here, super strong through the feet. The second time this right arm circles down past your face, you bring your right hand to the outer edge of the mat. Lower down onto your right knee and straight away circle the left arm up and around. Monkey twist. Now you can either go just straight for a twist or you can go through a thigh stretch. You can lower down onto your right forearm. If that feels good for you, don't force it. If it's not really happening, stay connected to what it is that you need in your body today. Anytime you need to let that breath go, out through the mouth, move it. And then if you're holding the foot behind you, let go of it. Your left hand is going to reach over to where your right hand is. And you're in this half waterfall, this like low waterfall really. Your hands are walking on that top diagonal line. Your hips are going to try and pull back, but you're going to wiggle around a little bit here. Anything that you feel that you haven't quite tapped into right now, can you reach that? That sensation in the body, that section of the body. And then bring this up into a higher version. The hands stay really solid. You lift the back knee, you lower the right heel, and you press your hips back long in your spine. Relax the head through the arms. And again, add a little bit of movement here. Can you imagine if I was to pour water from the base of your spine, can it roll down your spine, drip off the crown of the head or even off the fingertips? That's why I call it waterfall. One more breath where you are. Exhale, you're going to start to walk your hands into the center of the mat and straighten your front leg. Turn the left toes in, straight away, open the arms out wide, press a Rita. Tip the whole body all the way up, super strong in the legs. Hook the thumbs again, turn the heels in, back into goddess. Bend your knees and we get low. Stay down, tip from side to side, roll in the spine. Keep challenging yourself here, get even lower if you can. From here, you can keep going as you are, or with your legs low, release the arms and maybe bring the right arm to the inside of the right leg. Left arm can lift over the head and you switch sides. Back of the left arm connects to the inner left shin and knee. Right arm comes up and over. And you're going to keep going. Maybe the hands come towards the floor. You stay low in this squat. You just get down a little bit more. What works for you? Maybe this is an absolute no-go for you today, and that is okay. One more wherever you are, whether you're tilting more upright. Exhale to the final side. Bring yourself all the way back up. Straighten your legs, turn the toes forward. Arms out like wings. Tip your bum back and come all the way down. Wide-legged forward fold. Excellent job. Take a moment, relax the head, relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Let it all go. Have a little bend in the knees and push your bum back. Weight into the heels. You're going to walk your hands over to your left foot, the original front of the room. Turn the left toes forward. Spring your back foot slightly up and wide. Twisted triangle. Right hand is going to cross to the inside or over to the outside of your left foot. Peel the left arm up towards the sky and you find that twist across the ribs. Squeeze the inner thighs, connect through the feet. Exhale, take your left hand down, have a moment more in this forward fold. And we're going to finish this side on that side plank and wild thing. How do you feel right here? Does the wild thing and side plank need to be super strong? Or can we add a softer element to it? Right hand down, slide your right foot long down the mat. Stack your left leg on top of the right. Squeeze the bum, press the hips up. Lift the left leg and step your left foot behind your right thigh. Wild thing. Squeeze your bum, press the hips up. Open the heart and the chest. Exhale, take the left hand down. Squeeze the legs together, high plank. Chaturanga. You can lower the knees if you need to. All the way down if you have to. Inhale, up into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Eventually you can lower down into a child's pose. Lower your knees, drop your bum to your heels. Belly to your thighs, turn the palms open. So for this next little section, it's going to get maybe a little bit quicker just as we tap into the quality of a sun salutation. We're going to take 3 rounds of a sun salutation B, but I'm going to change them. So they're going to be slightly different in variation. So you'll have a familiarity, but you won't know exactly where you're going. So bring yourself up into downward facing dog and start to walk your feet towards your hands. Walk the feet up towards your hands. Have this slightly more ragdoll style forward fold for a moment. Bend the knees, drop the belly to the thighs, relax the head. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, full Uttanasana, belly towards your thighs. And then you're going to lift up into Tadasana, which is mountain pose. Arms come up over the head. You come all the way up to standing. Exhale, bring your arms down by your sides and breathe. So I'm going to bring myself back to my front. So you stay where you are. So we're going to take it into Utkatasana chair first. So your feet can have a slight gap between them. Bend your knees, scoop the arms up. Imagine you're hugging a brick in between the thighs. Arms scoop up over in line with your ears. Exhale, forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale up, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step your feet behind you, high plank, Chaturanga, same exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back. Down dog, step the right foot forward, ground the left heel to the floor, warrior 1. Keep the arms up over the head, palms touch. Now, as soon as you finish your inhale up, it's time to go down. Exhale, hands down, step the right foot back, high plank, Chaturanga. Bend the elbows, we go low. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push back, downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Ground the right heel down. There's that continual movement. Inhale up. Exhale down. We keep moving with every breath. Left leg back, high plank, Chaturanga. If you need to lower the knees, you do what you got to do. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Take a few breaths here. And in these moments that are slightly more still, can we kind of tame this fire? So it's good to build the fire, but we don't want it to get out of control. Inhale, rise up onto your tiptoes, look forward, step or hop your feet to your hands. Inhale up, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, full forward fold. Bend your knees, scoop the arms up, Utkatasana chair. Hold that there, arms up in line with your ears. We're going to go for a second round. It's going to be slightly different. Exhale, forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, hands down, step or hop back. If you were going to hop back, you land in Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra.
Exhale, tuck the toes, push back, down dog. Lift the right leg. Step the right foot forward. You're going to lower the back knee down. Untitled, which is crescent moon. Arms come up over the head. Big breath in. Exhale, frame the front leg. I want you to spring your back foot forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway. Exhale, hands down, step or hop it back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog, lift the left leg. Exhale, step the left foot forward, lower the right knee down. Anjaneyasana, scoop the arms up. Exhale, frame the front foot, step the right foot forward. Back foot meets the front foot. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, full. Bend your knees, scoop the arms up, chair, Utkatasana. Arms in line with the ears. You're going to go for a third and final time. It's going to be different. Exhale, belly to thighs, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, hands down, step or hop it back, your choice, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog, lift the right leg, point the toes, hold this here. You are going to bring your right knee towards the back of the right tricep or elbow. Hold. You are pushing the floor away. You're going to lower your right knee towards the back of the right wrist. You just hover the shin off the floor. Inhale, pull the right knee back up towards the elbow. Feel the shake. And again, exhale, knee down towards the wrist. Inhale, knee to elbow. Now this time you lower the shin all the way down. And you kick your right toes over to the right, tuck them. Slide your right fingertips forward and peel the left arm up towards the sky. You are in a modified side plank. Growing from the floor here. You can stay where you are or lift the left leg, bend the left knee and catch the foot with your hand. And take the bow variation where you kick, shoulders open, squeeze your bum, push away from the ground. And then release your foot, everybody. Flex the left foot and lower the whole sole of the left foot to the ground. So you're going to keep your left foot on the floor and you keep your right palm grounded. Can you try and hover this right knee off the floor? Can you extend your right foot forward? You can have the foot on the floor or off, your choice. Those of you that have gone off, can you reach the left hand towards the right toes? And then recircle it open. Left hand down, high plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Straight away, lift your left leg, big breath in. Exhale, left knee to the back of the left elbow. Hold it, protract up. Exhale, lower the left knee towards the wrist. Inhale, knee to elbow. Exhale, knee to wrist. Knee to elbow. Lower the shin down completely. Kick the left toes over to the left. Peel the right arm up to the sky, modified side plank. You can stay where you are or take it into the bow variation. Pick up the right leg, bend the knee, catch the foot with your hand. Bow pose it. Now don't stress out if you don't have these variations, if you don't have this progression yet. Re-extend. Right hand comes down. Sorry, right hand doesn't come down. The right foot comes down. And then you're going to try and hover the left knee off the floor. Extend the left foot forward. You can have the foot on or off the floor into your falling star, or bring the right hand to try and tap the left toes. Then extend right hand to the floor, left leg back, high plank, Chaturanga. Your choice how you take your Chaturangas. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, push it back. Downward facing dog. Stay in this down dog for a few breaths. Exhale it out through the mouth. Good job, everybody. Spread your fingers wide. How do they feel? Spread the toes wide, pedal out your heels. You're going to start to walk your feet towards your hands again. And once you've got there, you kind of meet yourself more into the middle of the mat. Ragdoll style, bend your knees, drop your belly towards your thighs. Inhale up, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head, Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, arms down by your sides, or you can rest your hands physically on your body. Where do you need to put them? And we're going to take it into a little bit of a balancing flow right now to finish off. So with this balancing flow, we're going to go into tree first. If you need to take a little bit longer to settle, then that's totally fine. Now you're going to shift the weight more onto your left leg. Bring your right foot up against your left inner thigh. You can have your right foot up against the shin bone, or maybe all the way to the floor. It's completely up to you. You decide where you're going to have that right foot. And either bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest, or interlace your fingers behind your head and push the head into the hands so that you grow. Now we can't just sort of pop the hip. You can't push the right heel fully into the thigh and just kind of hang out. You've got to push that thigh also into the heel. Squeeze your bum. Now you might want to stay completely still, or maybe add a little bit of movement in the chest or in the elbows, drawing circles. As we slightly tilt from left to right, you wobble out of it. It's part of the process. It's all good. And then release your arms. Extend your right foot forward. Flex the foot, spread the toes. You're then going to send your right leg back into warrior three. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Keep the toes looking down to the floor for the moment. Tip the torso forward. Now I like to bend the supporting knee here, so I got my thigh muscles to do more than my knee joint. Bring your left hand to the floor or on a brick, or if you're working at home with chairs or whatever else, you use what's around you. Turn the right toes out now. And as you turn the toes out, the hips stack open and you're in a half moon. Right hand comes up towards the sky. It's a beautiful place to be. Keep the right foot really active. I'm pretty obsessed with the sort of specificity, I can't really speak right now, of your feet and of your hands. Please excuse my terrible pronunciation. Hold yourself up here. Keep the right ankle lifting up towards the sky. Now you can stay. Or if you want to try a very cheeky pistol squat, you can bring your right hand down to the floor. Hands quite wide. Bend both of your knees. I always come up onto my left tiptoe because I've got a very short Achilles heel, but can you send your right leg through without touching the ground? Flex the foot, spread the toes, just for a moment, and then try and find your half moon once again. You can completely skip that part out if you don't want it. Just wakes up the thighs a little bit. From there, can you find your warrior three again? So bend the left knee. Hips go square because the right toes turn down. Then the hands can come up. Now it is so much harder lifting up into warrior three than it is actually going down. Slowly tip the torso all the way up. Send your right leg out in front of you the way you came into it all. And I want you to cross your right foot over the left. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Your right foot is over the left. Inhale, reach the arms up over the head, squeeze your bum. And then exhale, tip your torso forward and come into forward fold from here. Now it usually feels a little bit more intense with your legs crossed. Have your hands either come up onto your shins, the floor, maybe the feet, bricks, whatever you're working with. Super slow, this one. Now with your feet crossed, done this for a reason, you're going to shift the weight onto your front foot, your now front foot, which is your right foot. And as you shift the weight onto the front foot, the left leg is going to simply lift up into standing split. Now you can keep your knees slightly bent. It's totally fine. There is no need to kind of force yourself into positions that you don't feel ready for today or in general. If you do want to take it into a bind, you're welcome to bend the left knee. Maybe you reach the right hand up towards the left foot. If you are having to struggle to grab this and you lose the integrity of the pose, then don't worry about it. From there, you're going to cross your left knee to the outside of your right ankle. You slowly come all the way down onto your bum. You've got two choices here, my friends. Once you've got your sit bones down, you can start to tilt, you can start to twist, curve, arch the spine, explore the movement here. Or if you want to go upside down, then maybe we go upside down. So if you're very confident with headstands, try and keep the legs crossed in this position. You're going to come into a tripod headstand. So a tripod headstand is a triangle. You're making a triangle shape with your hands and the crown of your head. So plant the hands down as the two bottom corners. Try and keep the legs crossed. If you are pretty new with headstands, you don't have to keep them crossed here. And then bring the crown of the head up to the very top of the triangle. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips up. And then maybe your legs will rise together. Maybe you need to balance your knees onto your triceps first. Squeeze the bum, point the toes, really active in the legs, push the ground away. You don't have to be up there for very long. You can come down, keeping the legs crossed maybe. And then all the way out. Those of you that did go upside down, excellent job. Maybe you roly-polied out of it instead. That's okay. You take a moment to kind of wiggle it round again, tilt from left to right. And everybody from here, right foot's gonna slide forward slightly. You literally crawl out of this pose, back into standing split. Left leg comes up. Exhale, lower the left foot straight next to the right foot. Forward fold, soften the knees, soften everything else. Relax the head and the neck, all the way through to your skin. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, bring your arms up over the head, Tadasana. Exhale, arms down by your sides. If you need to take a little bit longer to rest here, please do what you need to do. Otherwise, we'll move straight away into the other side. Shift the weight into the right leg. Bring your left foot up against the right inner thigh, right shin, or maybe to the floor, and the heel can come up against the right ankle. Hands can stay together in front of your chest, squeeze your bum, and you're hugging into the midline. So what I mean by that is you're not popping the hip, you're squeezing everything in together. This divine midline. Now you're gonna try and hold yourself here or interlace your fingers behind your head. And again, add that little bit of movement maybe if it comes to you. It's okay if it doesn't, or if it really throws you off. If you're constantly falling out of it, it's okay, you stand. You gather your breath again. And this can be your balance for the day. Who's to say that it isn't? A worthy balance. And then you release your hands, you extend your left foot forward. Again, it doesn't matter how high the leg goes. And you send your left leg back into warrior three, tip forward. If you're working warrior threes with your toes on the floor, totally fine with me. You work with whatever it is that you're working with. You might have had an ankle injury, you might have a foot injury going on. There are ways around these which we can still feel powerful and strong. Keep the left foot flexed if it's up. And then we're going to come into our half moon. Right hand down to the floor or on an object. Turn the left toes out. Reach the left arm up towards the sky and open it up. You can stay here or you can go for your pistol squat. Left hand down. Try and avoid the left leg to the floor as much as you can. Just for a wee breath. And then back up into your half moon. Let it flow. Keep it fluid. Find your warrior three wherever you are. Once again, it's those pieces of the jigsaw puzzle that we're putting together. Turn the hip down, flex the foot. Walk the hands back up together, bit by bit, piece by piece. And then tip the torso all the way up. Extend your left leg out in front of you. And cross the left foot over the right. Squeeze the legs together. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold with crossed legs. If you need to bend the knees, if you need to take your hands way further up the legs, you do what you got to do. Shift the weight onto your front foot, your left foot now, and shift it up so the right leg lifts into standing split. So again, with your standing split, if you do want to take some binds, they're optional. They're for you, not for me, not for anybody else. So most of my flows are very transitional. So kind of working your way around the mat nicely, exploring. Bend your knees and bring your right knee to the outside of the left ankle. Sit your bum down. And you move from side to side, from left to right. Or you can go into another headstand. That is completely up to you. If you're not taking the cross legs in headstand, bring yourself more into all fours first. Set yourself up with your triangle. If the head comes in between the hands, you're setting yourself up more for a roly-poly. So really bring the crown of the head forward. And you might want to practice just bringing the feet closer towards the hands and walking them away. You might want to practice bringing the knees up against the triceps. That might be enough for you. Or you go all the way up. Completely up to you what you take. Eventually, when you have come all the way down, left leg wraps over the right one once again, and you take your final twists and curves and tilts. And then you crawl forward, weight goes back onto your front foot, lift the right leg up towards the sky, standing split. Exhale, right foot steps down next to the left. Forward fold. Take a moment, rock it forward and back, side to side. Think about the soles of your feet. How much they do for you. How far they walk. How strong they are to hold you up. Crawl back into a downward facing dog for the final time. If you really want to take it through a final vinyasa, you're welcome to. Otherwise, you stay where you are. How do the legs feel in this last downward facing dog compared to how they felt at the beginning? How does the spine feel? How does the heart feel and the belly feel? The skin? You're going to step or jump down onto your bum. And lift your legs up into Navasana. Very, very brief Navasana. Squeeze your legs together. Knees, ankles, toes, arms out by your sides. Palms up towards the sky. Now you're going to work into the back of the body before we come all the way down into our resting place. I want you to lower your heels towards the floor and have about 1 inch or 2 gap between the heels. Now your knees are about 6 to 8 inches bent. Keep your knees together and keep your big toes together. It's the heels that are slightly apart. Flex your feet, push down the heels, and slowly ripple your spine down. Keep the knees slightly bent. Keep the knees together, big toes together, arms down by your sides. Push down your fingertips into the floor. And with all these little pieces together, lift the hips up about 1 inch. So it's difficult. If it's not difficult enough, you push your feet further away and you decrease the bend in the knees. You keep the knees together, the toes together, flex the feet, squeeze your bum, and lower it down. Take it again. If you want to try pushing the feet away a little bit more, then you go for it. Push the hands into the ground, squeeze the bum and lift. Maybe even now lift the arms up, hands over the shoulders, hands towards the sky. Exhale, lower. Excellent job. Walk your heels a bit closer towards your sit bones. We're going to take one bridge. It's going to feel really easy compared to what you just did. Spread the toes wide. Squeeze your bum. Arms by your sides. Lift the hips. Interlace your fingers underneath you. Walk the arms in. Press the fist into the floor. Push down the heels. Squeeze your bum. The chest will rise towards the chin. You don't have to move the head. And when you're ready, release your hands, lower your hips down. Open the arms wide and shift your legs from left to right. Now you can take another bridge just as you did there, or you can take it into full wheel. If you want to take it into full wheel, you prep the lower part of the body the same as you would in bridge. You just bring the hands next to the shoulders, fingertips point down to the heels, and you try and hug the upper arm bones in and up towards the sky. Or you can go for that same bridge once again. Up to you. Whatever it is that you need. Super strong in the legs and the glutes. Open the front of the body. In these back bends, we need power in the legs. And then when you're ready, you come down. You can hug the knees into your chest eventually here, or take the legs wide and rock from side to side. From here, grab hold of the outside of your left foot with your left hand, and let your right heel drop down to the floor. Keep the right knee bent. You're in a half happy baby. Right arm is going to open out wide to the right. And rock from side to side. Let it all go. And with this rock, you're eventually going to rock your left leg all the way over to the left. And the right thigh is going to follow. The right thigh is going to turn in. Flex the foot. Keep the right shoulder down. Now, some people will feel a big stretch across their belly, down the hip. There's psoas muscle here. Others might not feel it as much. But this is you really winding everything down. Can you encourage your breath to go more into that right side of the hip? And again, we come back into the movement that our body naturally takes. That voluntary takes in our skin and in our form. We don't have to tell it to breathe. It will. And then start to take it to the other side. Bring it to center. Grab hold of the outside of the right foot. Let the left leg go. Left arm is going to open out wide and you rock from side to side. Until you eventually let your right leg fall over to the right. Left leg is going to turn in. And again, you don't need to force this left leg to do anything. It's just dropping into its natural amount, a degree of internal rotation. And if there's anything else, anything at all that you feel you need to take that I haven't given you today, then you do what you need to do. Maybe you want to go upside down again if that's something that you're practicing. Don't force yourself to do something that you don't want to do though. And then when you're ready, you can do that next thing or Shavasana it out. Bring the heels, soles of the feet together, maybe knees open. Arms can be wide. You can lie the legs long down the body. Hands can be on your body. Whatever it is, however it is that you want to lie, you go there. And then you close your eyes. You take a big breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out through the mouth. Take as many of those as you need. They really help. And then I'll eventually guide you out of your Shavasana. But enjoy this time for yourself. To close your practice. This is such an important part of the practice.
And then rest your awareness in the flow of your breath. Rest your awareness in the whole of your body, just as it is. You've got nothing to prove. Nothing is wrong that you feel. Nothing. So welcome it in, good or bad. Take this moment to add some movement into your hands, into your feet. And inhale, reach the arms up over the head, welcoming everything in. And exhale, hug your knees to your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, hold this moment for yourself. And then you can eventually roll to one side, you can press yourself up, whatever way is best for you. You can finish with your hands on your body, you can finish with your hands together. Maybe even on the floor, wherever it is that you feel that you need to just be, to connect, to be aware, to honor yourself, the whole of it, every feeling, every emotion. And to finish this practice, we'll take a final breath in and a final breath out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel good. Always let me know how you get on with this. Like and comment, and we can have a conversation. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it really helps get this content and myself out there. Really appreciate your support. Thank you. Go and have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.